What's good, YouTube? It's your boy K Flex, and I'm back here with yet another video. Another one, yes, another one. And this is gonna be a late video, possibly, depending on if I upload it tonight or if I just wait till Wednesday. I don't know yet. But anyways, in today's video, we're gonna talk about the Miami Dolphins' last 5 drafts, who we picked versus who we should have picked, and how obviously hindsight is 2020, so we're not gonna dwell on the past. We're just gonna get into how we have drafted in the first round these last 5 years. Did we make the right decision? Did we make the wrong decision? And why it happened the way it happened, and why things happened the way it happened. But real quick, shout out to people who like this video before they even heard this sentence. Let's get into the video. Shout out to all the people that's watching this video right now. Appreciate everybody for checking the video out, tuning in. This is my favorite part of the day right here. Making a video. Well, not necessarily the process of making the video, but when it's released and how people are interacting with it and commenting, that's just the favorite thing of my life right now, okay? I just love doing YouTube. But anyways, exciting times. So let's get into the video. First, we started in 2016, Laremy Tunsil. We're doing the last 5 years, first round draft picks only, Laremy Tunsil. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last 5 years, this is our best pick, almost damn near in franchise history, besides Dan Marino. But not, like, in the last 20 years, this got to be like our best pick. And it's not only because of what he did on the field that mattered. It more so matters of what he got us off the field. You know what I'm saying? Off the field, we traded him for multiple picks that could even turn into more picks. But we've traded him for so many picks already, it's actually insane. What we have accomplished, what we have gotten for a guy who we shouldn't even have gotten in the draft. We only got him because before the draft, he got caught smoking weed. What we have now obtained for his services is absolutely astronaut, beyond anything of my wildest dreams, and we got good years out of him. It's not like we didn't get no good years. We got good years out of him, and then we ended up getting a lot of freaking picks, including a top 10 pick. It was really a 3 for Laremy Tunsil. We flipped him into this pick. I don't see how you could ever say this wasn't the best pick, at least in the last 10 years by us. Definitely the last 5. This has to be one of our best picks. This pick is not a mistake. If you look at who was drafted after Laremy Tunsil, you will look at the likes of Carl Joseph, Corey Coleman, Taylor Decker, Shaq Lawson, Darren Lee. You know what I'm saying? You get these type of players. Not saying any of these players are terrible, but they're not on Laremy Tunsil's level. This is one of those rare seasons where you definitely picked the right player right when you needed to pick them. Let's get into the 2017. So immediately following the great Laremy Tunsil pick, we end up with one of our worst picks ever. In 2017, we drafted Charles Harris, number 22 overall. And honestly, I mean, this was just a worst pick that I think I've ever seen us make. Charles Harris, I waited on him to develop. He never became good. All right, he always had really steep competition for that edge spot because at the time we had Andre Branch, we had Cameron Wake, we brought in Robert Quinn for a little bit. We always have pretty decent linemen. Obviously, we had Sue, you know what I'm saying? We always kept having decent linemen to the point where he never could just break out and be anything. And I felt like we drafted him to kind of be a Cameron Wake replacement. But when Cam Wake never slowed down and Charles Harris never got good enough to take anybody's spot, it was just, that was the end of it, okay? He currently plays for the Lions. He only got about 3.5 sacks with us throughout a whole, like, what, 3 or 4 years he spent with us. It's like a sack a year. It's absolutely terrible. He will be forgotten. Nobody will remember that he even played for the team in like 20 years. In 20 years, when we're looking back at the Dolphins drafts and we look at Charles Harris, we're going to be like, what the hell? We drafted a guy named Charles. What did he ever do in the league? I mean, absolute bust. Some of it maybe wasn't his fault with him switching from, I think in college, what was he? He was a 3-4. We tried to switch him to a 4-3 or something like that he just wasn't with, really. And looking back at it, we should have drafted TJ Watt. Okay, if we're talking about who we should have drafted at that same position, I vividly remember that this was the draft that I really wanted us to draft Reuben Foster. Now, Reuben Foster ended up having a short career because he got, you know, legal problems and nothing you could do about it. I mean, he was just hard-headed. And y'all already know I don't really care about the aspect of people being hard-headed. That's the only reason why I still don't mind just drafting Michael Parsons. I don't care about all that bully. As long as you ain't a murderer, all right, you're fine by me. But Reuben Foster, obviously, he's not even in the league right now. His troubles was too much. Okay, he ended up getting in trouble once he got into the league, some domestic abuse things, I believe it was, and his career is pretty much over. But that's what I wanted because I knew we needed a linebacker at that time. Looking back at it, we should have definitely drafted T.J. Watt, who went 8 picks after Charles Harris at 30th. Hindsight 2020, but T.J. Watt is a Pro Bowler. We're talking about a Defensive Player of the Year candidate this year. So we're looking at who we should have drafted. It definitely should have been T.J. Watt, and he's a pass rusher just like Charles Harris. We just, at the end of the day, we picked the wrong pass rusher. Kind of hurts you, but at the same time, you understand that, hindsight 2020, there was no way we would have known. But at the end of the day, it does kind of hurt you, but we should have picked T.J. Watt this year. Let me know in the comments who you guys wanted this year, okay? Going on to 2018. 2018, ladies and gentlemen, this is definitely one of the most interesting ones to talk about. Minkah Fitzpatrick. Because Minkah Fitzpatrick was not the wrong pick. He just wasn't the right pick. It's just very, very weird how it turned out, because there's no way we could have known that Minkah would have requested a trade and won it out and all that stuff. But to be honest with you, we never needed a safety when we drafted Minkah. Looking back on it, in my opinion, we should have drafted Tremaine Edmonds. Okay, I wanted Roquan Smith. He got drafted before I picked. But we should have drafted Tremaine Edmonds, looking back at it, who I really didn't want at the time. But looking back at it, yeah, we should have drafted him. Because Minkah Fitzpatrick we only ended up getting, what, 1 good year out of him? And then he was called to Steelers. And yes, Minkah Fitzpatrick's an all-pro. He's a super talent. But he didn't want to play for us, apparently, okay? And there's more to that he just didn't want to play for us. We didn't have him in the right position. Like I said, we didn't need a safety when we drafted him. We did not. If you look at it, we had T.J. McDonald coming off one of his best years, and we had Rashad Jones. We never needed a safety when we drafted him. We just drafted him. And we had Bobby McCain. I don't even think Bobby McCain was moved back to safety at that time, but I'm just saying, we had enough safety talent. We never needed Minkah, but we drafted him. He was an all-pro. He's better than any safety we had on our team, which was fine, but we kept putting him in the wrong position. There was a lot of stuff that went into it. Even though in the draft process he did say he was versatile. Obviously, he wasn't as versatile as we thought he was, because he then ended up having friction with the team, which cost us to trade him. When we traded him, we got a pick from the Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger got hurt. I'm thinking that pick is going to be like top 10, top 15. The pick ends up being in the 20s because Big Ben gets hurt. Because the Steelers still find ways to win games somehow, okay? Or was that the 18th pick? Either way, it wasn't as high as I thought it was going to be. Okay, kind of sucked. Looking back at it, we should have got Tremaine. I think he would have been happier with the Dolphins, and obviously a linebacker was a position that they needed at that time. But at the same time, Minkah Fitzpatrick, I guess, was straight. And if we're going to be super technical, we really should have got Lamar. But I'm just saying, if we were going to stick on defensive side of the ball, yes, we should have got Tremaine. But if I'm going to be technical, if I'm going to be all the way honest, we should have got Lamar. And by the way, I'm keeping this the first round draft picks. I understand that maybe a second rounder has been super good, like A.J. Brown or something. But I'm keeping this the first rounders for all these years. We should have got Lamar Jackson, for the record, this year. All right, we needed a quarterback. Lamar was a beast, but everybody, he's a running back. What? So I knew it was no chance we got him. That's why I didn't even boost him. But if you watch my videos, if you look up K-Flex and Lamar Jackson, I do have a video when I'm talking about why we should draft Lamar. But that was back when Dolphin fans thought, oh my God, he's a running back, this, that, and the third, and now look, MVP. So we should have drafted Lamar, but if we wanted to draft defense, we should have drafted Tremaine Edmonds, okay? But we didn't mess up this year because Minkah is like one of the best safeties in the league. We didn't mess up, we just ended up getting, okay? Now we get to Christian Wilkins, last year's pick, and to be honest with you guys, it's too early to honestly tell. So Christian Wilkins, although he looks like a pretty good pick, and if you look at who was drafted after him, you have the likes of Brian Burns, you have Chris Lindstrom, you have Dexter Lawrence, Jeffrey Simmons. Nobody that was drafted after him is really blowing the league away by storm or anything as of now. So Christian Wilkins, to me, was the right pick. And with the position that we were in, I don't see who else we could have got better, at least as of right now. Okay? Like I said, A.J. Brown was drafted in the same draft, but he was drafted in the second round. I'm not talking about second rounders. I'm talking about straight first rounders. I don't see anybody better that we could have got, with the exception of Christian Wilkins. Everybody knows in this draft I wanted Dwayne Haskins. I'm not proud to admit it, but I wanted Dwayne Haskins. But looking back on this draft, we made the right decision 100%. There's nobody right now that's looking like they're better than Christian Wilkins by a long shot, or that's looking like we should have drafted him over Christian Wilkins. And Darnell Savage, I think he's pretty good. There's some pretty good players that are pretty good, but none of them are to where you be like, oh my God, we really passed on them, you know? And then we get to Tua, the one and only. Did we mess up? And right now, some people could say, yeah, we did. Did you see what Justin Herbert did? But good thing that careers are not defined off 1 year. Not to mention Justin Herbert, again, there's a lot of things that go into Justin Herbert's stats looking the way they did versus Tua. One of them being that Justin Herbert was getting his ass beat every game, and he was afforded the opportunity to throw the ball a lot more and with a lot more aggression than Tua was. You look at Tua's last game, he had a lot of picks, yes, but he threw 300-something yards. And Tua's last game, he could have did that every game if he was getting our ass beat, but he wasn't. Okay, but any quarterback can throw. Jameis Winston threw 5K yards one time. Like any quarterback can throw a lot when you're sitting up here and you're in close games and you're getting your ass beat. But when the Dolphins were so good to the point that we didn't really need Tua to throw the ball too much, that's why the stat discrepancies look like that. But I mean disparities. But to be honest with you, like Justin Herbert did have a better year. He deserved to get a year. But like I said, it's not defined off 1 year. You never know about a career sake. You know, we knew there was a chance that Justin Herbert can be better or could be better, and that's the reality. That's with any quarterback. But I wouldn't trade. I wouldn't take back that day for anything. The way that it made the fan base feel, the way that everything happened, I wouldn't take that back for anything. So I don't really care. And I honestly still think that Tua could be the best quarterback in this class. Tua is kind of slept on at this point, though. Like it's like I seen like a chart showing like the best quarterback prospects for the last 2 years. It was like Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. It was like they had Justin Herbert on there, but Tua was not on there. And it's like I can already tell like Tua's getting slept on. He got a lot to prove this year. Okay. But anyways, get in the comment section. I would talk about Noah and Austin Jackson. Like, low-key, we shouldn't have picked that. They look bad, too. But, again, it's way too early to tell. But like I said, get in the comment section. This is the video that I made with the messed up audio that now I'm re-recording. So, this is the video that I'm making. If anybody missed it, I said it's the same exact thing. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. Roll to 11K. Flexing.